What is going on, YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles, and this is a huge video that we're doing today to show you guys some cool books that I was able to pick up this week. I also have a special announcement to stay tuned at the end of the video, and I also have an unboxing that I got off of eBay I want to share with you guys as well. It's a long video, so bear with me, but I have a ton of new books that I was able to snag this week that all came in the mail at once. Super excited to show you guys what I picked up. So before I get to the announcement and the unboxing, let me show you the books I was able to pick up this week. First is a copy of Wolverine #2 from the limited edition Frank Miller series. I was able to pick this up at a decent price. I can add it to my set now of Wolverine 1 through 4. I have a nice high-grade copy of 1, and then now I have the 2, 3, and the 4. So now I have the entire set that I can finally bag and keep together. If anybody is looking for a full set of Wolverine limited series, you can always hit me up on YouTube or on Instagram. My Instagram name is Lawrence_the_MCG. Always have posting books, always showing books on here. So if anybody's interested, just message me here or there. The next book I was able to pick up is probably a minor key that may spike, may not, but it's not an expensive book that I was able to snag. It is X-Men 244. It is the first appearance of Jubilee. You never know when we might see her in an X-Men film, when X-Men does show up in the MCU. But either way, an inexpensive key that is definitely worth picking up for a cheap price. The next books I was able to pick up is actual set. It's, believe it or not, it's part of the set that kind of made me start collecting comics in the first place. It is Batman 427, 8, 9, and 30. This is the Death of Robin. And I got all these from a guy on eBay to finally have the full set. I had this set when I was really young, when I first started getting back into collecting comics, when I first started actually collecting comics. I picked these up and I was enthralled with them. Everybody knew who Batman and Robin was, and to find out that Robin was dying was a huge, huge thing back in the day. So this is probably one of my favorite covers of all time, and the one with Robin as well. So I remember seeing this on the wall at my cousin's house when I went to an LCS, and that's an interesting story I'll share with you guys at a later date. But either way, I'm super stoked to have this finally, Death in the Family, back in the personal collection. It'll probably stay with me for a little bit. Those are one of those things that has a little bit of sentimental value, right? So the next book I was able to pick up is a second copy of The Amazing Spider-Man #40. A classic John Romita cover, one of my favorites. To me, the ASM 39, his first cover, was a little bit better. That those blues and the purples and the greens really pop, and this is right behind it at #40. His first work on ASM was 39, and his second was right here. And to me, those two issues, he just hit it right out of the park. And to me, he's the greatest Spider-Man artist of all time. If you guys haven't checked out that video I did about a month or so ago about debating who's the best or ranking the Spider-Man artists, I suggest you check that out because that was a lot of fun. We did it on a live stream. Next book I was able to pick up was All-Star Comics #58, which is the first appearance of Power Girl. You don't see me collect a lot of DC stuff, but when this book appeared for the right price, I couldn't not snag it. It was definitely worth the price that I paid for it. If anybody hasn't seen, Elite Comics 11 on Instagram does some live sales for some local guys, some LCSs, or some guys who do comics sales at shows and stuff like that. He did one, and a majority of these books are where I got them from. A few were from eBay, like I said, as well. This one is also from eBay, and it's a book I've been hunting for, but the copies that I've seen haven't been up to snuff for the price they wanted. But when I saw this, it was like a new listing, and I kind of jumped on it when I saw it. It is Incredible Hulk #162. It is the first appearance of the Wendigo. Now, to me, I find this book always like tan foxing, not as white as it should be. And this is not completely bright white, but it was a good enough copy for me to pick it up for a good price. There's a few ticks, but it's not too bad on the spine, and the whites are bright enough for me to have it in my personal collection, and that's where it'll stay for a bit. Again, this is a book I've been searching for probably better part of a year, and finally was able to pull the trigger on a copy that I thought was worth the price. And again, these are all small keys that you can pick up for under $100 for the most part. The set was around that for the Death in the Family. Here's another book that I have been searching for to find the right copy, and to me, this is not like the greatest copy. I did press this book myself, and it looks a little better, but is my first time owning this book, if you can believe it or not. It is X-Men number 266. It is the first appearance of Gambit. There are a few ticks on the spine. Nothing too bad at all. But the price I got this book for, I thought was worth it just to snag it. I try to buy these books in higher grade, 9.2 or higher when I see them. I don't know if this qualifies as that, but it looked good enough. The colors are bright and beautiful for me to pick this one up. And I paid under $100 for it, and I thought it was a steal just to have in the personal collection because, like I said, I've never owned this book before, believe it or not. And it is like considered by me like a modern book. So happy to finally have this one. My next book is a book that I do own another copy of, but I wanted to snag another one if I could for the right price, and this is a high-grade copy of this book. I don't think it's a 9.8 material, but definitely over 9.2. It is a classic cover, one of my all-time favorite covers. It is Amazing Spider-Man number 316. Just a beautiful McFarlane art. It is the first time Venom is on the cover of a book. And to me, this is just classic. It's been homaged a bunch of different times, but none as good as this. So this is Todd at his best. Amazing Spider-Man number 316. Happy to add a second copy of this to the collection. And it'll probably stay with me for a bit, but eventually it'll probably go up for sale. And the last book before the unboxing is a book I have owned before that I just recently sold at one of my live sales, but I definitely wanted to pick up another issue. And this, by not being perfect, it is a high-grade copy of this book, and I'm happy to have it. It is Incredible Hulk number 340. Another beautiful Todd McFarlane cover. Probably his best in that Hulk series that he did. Absolutely beautiful. A higher-grade copy of this. Not perfect, don't get me wrong, but definitely a nice book to have back in the collection. As everybody knows, I'm a huge Todd McFarlane fan. I love his artwork, and some of the classic covers that he did, I wanted to keep. So even if I've sold one off, I'll always look for another copy just to have it in my collection. That brings me to the unboxing. Now, this book is a book I own, and it's a book I have multiple copies of. And why is that? Well, it's a book that I think the character is undervalued, and I think eventually this character will show up in the MCU, and it'll be huge because to me it's one of my all-time favorite characters, all-time favorite villains, even though I don't know if you can call this person a villain in my opinion, but you guys let me know what you think. So I do have a copy of this book already, and believe it or not, this is going to be my third copy of this book. It probably won't stay in the collection forever because like when you have 3 copies, you gotta let some go sometimes, but I have it in here. I opened the box yesterday mistakenly because I thought it was another book that I got. But either way, I didn't take it out of the bubble wrap when I noticed what it was. But let me show you what I got. And it'll kind of bring me into my announcement of what I'm going to do. But let me show you this first, and then we'll get into the announcement. This person wrapped this book absolutely beautifully. It is a graded book, so a lot of you guys notice I haven't been doing a lot of CGC unboxings. I'm trying to stick to raw stuff unless they're huge books, but the price I got this for, I wanted to just pick it up even though it was a graded book. You guys ready? It is Amazing Spider-Man number 194. It is a first appearance of the Black Cat. Such an undervalued key. A book that was published in 1979. To me, one of my all-time favorite Spider-Man characters. And now when I say, she is a villain, but she's not a villain. She, Spider-Man's love interest half the time. A huge underutilized character, in my opinion. And I think now In some of the modern comics, they're starting to use her a lot more. She's got her own series now. But when she shows up in the MCU, watch out. And that's why I have 3 of these books. This has, of course, the nice Spider-Man, CGC label, which is cool. I prefer these books raw. I do have another 8.0 copy, believe it or not, up on my wall. So when I saw this for a good price, I had to pick it up. An inexpensive key I think everybody should have if they can afford it. So that brings me to my announcement. Going forward, I hope to do this every week. We're going to do a live show, and I'm going to bring 1 or 2 books to the live show that I think are must-owns for the future. Key books that are spec books that I think has long-term value, could grow due to MCU appearances, due to other things being like undervalued for first appearances or stuff like that. I think we're going to do this every week. I'm going to try to pick 1 day a week where I'm going to do a live show, and I'll take 1 or 2 books to show you guys that I think's worth owning for spec. Now, most of you guys know I do collect most silver, bronze, copper age stuff. I do have a few modern stuff here and there, but I'm mostly going to stick to those silver, bronze, and copper age books that I think are good spec books, and books that haven't really have that big pop yet. Some of them might have some pop, but I still might have books that will continue to pop. So I'll have books that maybe some people won't be able to afford, and I'll give them all an alternative. We'll work it as we go, but I want to announce a new live show once a week that I'm going to be showing new spec books that I think are undervalued or could be due for a pop relatively soon. So that's it for the haul. I hope you guys can join me for that live show. I will schedule it for next week. I haven't decided on an actual title yet, but once I do, you will see it in on my channel, waiting to go to go live for that show. So I hope you guys join me. I hope you guys enjoyed the books that I was able to bring and show you guys today. Just another quick reminder, there's a 500 subscriber contest I'm running that will end on Sunday. We're going to go live at some point on Sunday and announce the winners through randomizer, so be there for that. If you haven't, find that video, go through it. If you want to enter into the contest, it will be really appreciated, and there are some cool prizes that you could win. So with that, this is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles saying thanks for watching this video. Like, subscribe, share. Oh, brother. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll talk to you guys soon.